Let's stick with Forest Green. Tremendously successful. You went from non-league. I'm now getting old. I'm 41. We used to call it the Vauxhall Conference. I don't even know what it's called anymore. That's the league you're in now.
I think it's called the Vanner. Is it the Vanarama this year? I'm not sure. It depends on the sponsor, doesn't it?
Yeah. I still call the League Cup the Coca-Cola Cup. My dad calls it the Milk Cup. Or the Carling Cup. So you went from what was the Vauxhall Conference, the elite level of amateur or semi-professional football in this country. You were then in League Two, then in League One, and then you suffered 2 relegations.
Yes, we did.
Gary Neville, one of the owners of Salford City, said you were a really well-run club when you got promoted from League Two to League One. What went wrong for Forest Green?
Well, it's really simple, actually. Our manager left. Watford came in for him. But he didn't tell me he was having those conversations, which, I kind of wish he had. He should have done. He was involved in the recruitment of our new players for League One at the time. Our director of football left in the same circumstances, involved in recruitment. Didn't tell me he was in negotiations with, I think it was Portsmouth.
Who is this?
The director of football. Yeah, Richard Hughes.
Oh, what? He was your director of football?
Yeah, not the famous one from the Premier League. No.
Okay, I was going to say he's gone to Liverpool now.
Yeah, that's it, not the Liverpool one. And then we lost our 3 best players, midfielder and 2 wingers. So we were basically like asset stripped by clubs that saw our success. We won League Two with a tiny budget, like £1.5 million or something like that. It's quite incredible. It was a great season. We won on goal difference on the last game of the season, which was really apt because on the first season that I rescued Forest Green Rovers, we stayed in that league, whatever it was called, on goal difference on the last game of the season. So I thought it was quite symmetrical.
But that's quite common for a team to overachieve, get promoted, and then you get asset stripped. But then you also get relegated from League Two.
Yeah.
So what happens? You just lose all momentum? What?
I think a series of bad recruitments, actually. One compounding the other.
Managers, directors, etc.
Exactly. Managers, directors of football, players actually driven by bad recruitments in directors of football and managers, and the whole thing. It was just a downward spiral, which we have arrested now. We're in the playoffs to get back into League Two.
You're third, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So what was the lesson you learned from that sort of period of 2 years of failure?
Well, I don't think there's a single lesson, but I can see where the mistakes were made, and it was in recruitment. It was, and then sometimes it's possible to try too hard, actually. And ironically, for the first 10 years, I think, of running Forest Green Rovers, I think we had 4 managers. We had the best record probably almost of any club. We were we were a club that didn't just swap managers out kind of willy-nilly or at speed and that kind of stuff. And we were having 2 or 3 a year in a ultimately desperate attempt to find the right combination.
And one of those was Duncan Ferguson.
Yeah.
What was he like?
He's a great man.
Big Dunk.
Big Dunk. He's lovely.
But it didn't work out football-wise.
No, it didn't. If you look at his results, it just didn't work out. And we called time on it. But we're still friends. So that's nice. And we had Troy Deeney as well.
Yeah.
That didn't work out either. I mean, I think he got 4 games, but he got a touchline.
4 games?
But he did get a touchline ban for threatening the referee. He threatened to punch his head in or something, and I was just like, fuck, I can't live with that. And at the same time, he was calling out our players as babies and stuff like this. And I'm just like, oh, this is a bad... I didn't actually choose him. This was down to a director of football recruitment problem who said, I can get Troy Deeney in, like, as a player. And we're like, well, why wouldn't you do that? He was, I think, in the championship with Birmingham at the time. He said, but I got to promise him, like, he'll get a shot at the manager job when it comes up. What I didn't know is he told me anyway that he'd written it into the contract. And when the manager job came up 6 months later, before any of us expected it,
oh God,
he weren't ready. Director of football said we have to give it to him. Turned out we didn't. When we looked at the contract after the event, we didn't have had to give it to him, but maybe, he would have... well, it wouldn't have mattered if he'd have walked if we hadn't given it to him. It would have been better for us. But anyway, that was all a great learning experience,
And you had Robbie Savage's boy as well, right? Charlie Savage?
Yeah.
Nice guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did Robbie come along to watch him?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's a good guy.
What one player would you like to sign for Forest Green? One plausible player, lower league player, you've seen them play. Let's say you get to League Two next year. Who, or maybe an ex-Premier League pro. Who are you thinking, I'd love that person to play for?
I couldn't tell you actually. I haven't got a name. I'm not out there looking at players and thinking, oh yeah, we need him. It's not my job.
You're trying to decouple, the price of energy from gas. That's what you're trying to do.
It.
You're not thinking about a League Two journeyman.
That's right. And we've got some other plans as well. Like we've got 3 reforms planned for the energy market. We've researched them all. We're going to publish in about 2 weeks' time the top line kind of summary of these 3 reforms that will halve our energy bills.
It's probably more important.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. That's how Labour could win the next election, and it's how we'll save tens of millions of economic waste and take so many people out of energy poverty. It's far more important.